It's the Slam Dunk.
Okay, so David Seymour, he wants fewer ministers and fewer portfolios. It's always been ex-policy to have smaller government. It's a worthy goal, but in reality, no government under MMP has ever done this. Ever since the days of Jim Bolger's first MMP government, and I was there and I saw the horse trading up close and personally, it's been 20 ministers in cabinet, 8 outside. You can sometimes add to that parliamentary under-secretaries, which is a way of keeping some loudmouth backbench problem child MP busy with the illusion that he or she's important and on their way towards holding a cabinet spot. You just sort of keep them out there. But every time you create a portfolio, it has to come with staff attached to ministerial offices. It costs millions of bucks every year. And staff hiring and firing, office space, cars, transport, flights for the minister and staff. The list goes on and on and on. National did it with New Zealand First in 1996. First-time MPs like Deborah Morris became the Youth Affairs Minister. Labour did it after that, and some MPs like Dover Samuels, even after he had the Māori Affairs portfolio stripped from him, he got the flaky role as Minister of State, whatever that meant. So he could keep his ministerial salary and perks and not cause Helen Clark any issues within the caucus, so they make the ministers of state. Even after Jim Bolger was rolled by Shipley, I recall he stayed on as the Minister of State, so he could keep all his perks and funding and salary and everything in the manner he'd become accustomed to. So it's about not losing face, you see. It's about access to Crown limos. Normal MPs take taxis. Ministers are driven in chauffeured limos. Simple. Seymour's idea to cut back is laudable, but not even actors pushed for this when it got its chance to be part of government. It didn't do this. That's why Seymour was being labelled a hypocrite. Like the rest of them, it pushed its agenda and created a new Ministry of Regulation to cut regulation. We'll ask you about that shortly. Ministerial jobs and perks and baubles of office are always used to horse trade in Parliament, and it costs the taxpayer, that's you and me, millions and millions every year in unnecessary costs. They say they care about the taxpayer's dollar, but then they willy-nilly throw taxpayers' cash around to put people into these dubious jobs, dubious outcomes, if they have any outcome at all. Helen Clark gave Judith Tizard the role of Minister for Auckland, which was dubbed the Minister for holding Helen Clark's handbag. With the factions in Labour, it was well known that both factions had certain numbers of ministerial seats set aside. There was no way Clark could have a small cabinet. If Seymour had his way, according to his later speech, new MPs and ministers, new MP and Minister for the South Island, James Meagher, would lose his job. But so would Minister of Racing, Winston Peters. These are just some of the unusual portfolios or jobs handed out. If I went through all of them right now, you'd probably charge me for your time. And John Key did it too. He didn't even need the Māori Party to go into government, but he gave Peter Sharples and Taliana Turia expensive ministerial jobs outside of cabinet in his government. If it was their money, their own private business, this would never happen. Someone else's money, then it's thrown around in an attempt to appease coalition partners and keep them on side. It's the cost of democracy. And Seymour's stance is all very well, but in reality, no party has ever gone down this lean, smaller approach to running the country. I mean, I was there for almost 20 years as a parliamentary journalist. It's very much a club. The only ones to genuinely challenge that club in the last 30 years, a couple of people. Rodney Hyde, with his campaign to reduce parliamentary perks. He was widely unpopular for that. With all the MPs, they didn't like him. And now Te Pāti Māori, who've genuinely decided to not play by the rules of Parliament, and they're genuine outsiders in the system, except, of course, for taking the generous salaries and perks, which they haven't turned their nose up at all. Oh, no. Every MMP government since 96 has had a large 28 ministers. That's almost half the members of every government enjoying ministerial salaries and perks. The other 30-odd MPs fight to become select committee chairman or whips, and that comes with a bigger pay packet as well. In government, only a very few MPs are on the normal basic MP salary. It's all about who can get what job and who gets the most pay. I agree with Seymour. I think there are far too many ministers doing bugger all and who have dubious jobs and titles, and they're simply created to keep everyone happy. But in truth, the heavy lifting is done in every government, usually by about 7 or 8 ministers. The rest have bit part roles. It means millions and millions and millions of bucks are spent on keeping the peace in an MMP coalition by handing out jobs. Parliament in general is a club, and they feather their own nest. In the real world, we've all faced major cutbacks and are doing the work of 2 or 3 staff. We've all seen the layoffs in our businesses, and people are not replaced, and we've all picked up the slack for little or no increase in pay. Right now, thousands of IT workers in health are losing their jobs, but we still have too many ministers, too many MPs, in my view, for a country of this size. I doubt any government will act on Seymour's policy. Even ACT didn't when it had the chance 18 months ago. It didn't. I think we should have 99 MPs, max. Get rid of 21 MPs. It'll save $10 million on the spot. I know it's probably chump change in the overall scheme of things, but it's the gesture and the nod to the rest of us that if we're all cutting back, then why aren't they? I mean, Debbie Ngāti-Wapaka still hasn't explained to any of us why she had such a high travel bill to fly from New Plymouth. And Prime Minister Chris Luxon has something like 7 staff dedicated to his social media postings. If he was forced to pay for them out of his own money, would he? And could he justify it? I'm saying all this to put Seymour's speech into some kind of perspective. For a man about to become Deputy PM and a man who wants smaller government and less spending, this government, he won't like this, but this government is about to spend more in the upcoming budget than any other government in the history of New Zealand. Austerity? Sure. They're cutting back a bit, but Seymour should probably be embarrassed to be part of a government that remains such a big spender and borrower in such difficult times. Let's go.
Editor-in-Chief with Duncan Garner.